Hello and welcome to Viking Fusion's exclusive sit-down interview with some of the big names of the Berry College football program. For Viking Fusion Sports, I'm Blake Childers, and I am here with head football coach Tony Konchesky. A little later on, two of our reporters will sit down with the duo who scored the first ever Berry College touchdown, Adam Sandin and Chris Lilly. So, Coach, thank you for being here with us, and I need to ask you, first off, you've got that first win under your belt now. What was it like whenever you got that first win?
That was great. I mean, our guys have been working hard, so it's nice to see some success on the scoreboard. But since we've talked about from the beginning, I mean, we're not necessarily looking at the scoreboard to determine our success, especially early on, because we know it's a process. But it's also nice to get validated on the scoreboard as well.
So after the win against LaGrange, I mean, it was their junior varsity squad, and some people may have said, okay, well, it was junior varsity. Maybe that's not really a real win. How would you respond to that? Do you think that it being a junior varsity team negates the win in any way?
You know, it's not the same as a varsity win, and we're not going to treat it the same way. I mean, we can only play who's on our schedule, and I think it was important for us to play against a team that is similar to us, where it's basically freshman on freshman, so to speak. So, I mean, it gives us some confidence, but you know, we're also not going to probably count that as a varsity win. You know, it's not going to go in the permanent statistics or anything like that, but you know, it's good to get out there and compete and see some success.
So talking about some of your receivers, your number one wide receiver, Chris Lilly, has proven to be a big asset for you already. He's the one who scored the very first touchdown. So can you talk a little bit about what he brings to your offense and how you like to use him on the field?
Well, Chris is a playmaker that we try to find ways to get him the ball. You know, he's a deep threat. He's good at running the screens. You know, most importantly with Chris is that he's not afraid to block you either. And we're very proud and pleased with the way he's blocking on the running plays, because sometimes, you know, that gets lost in the shuffle, you know, when you have a guy that can just catch passes but isn't willing to block.
So what was it like once you caught that very first touchdown for Berry College?
When I caught it, I kind of froze up because I didn't know I totally caught it yet. But it was kind of like I wasn't there, but then it came to me and I was like, oh, I scored.
What was the energy like in the locker room after that first one?
It was pretty intense. I mean, the first half was amazing, and then we kind of let up a little bit in the second half, but it was something I'll remember for the rest of my life, that's for sure.
How do you feel knowing 100 years down the road, after hundreds of games are played and millions of touchdowns are scored, that you will still have the very first touchdown pass in history?
That's a pretty big statement. It's awesome. But like I said, it would have been impossible without my offensive line blocking for me. All of them, they do an amazing job each and every week, and they deserve recognition for it. And then Chris made an unbelievable catch. You know, 50, 60 years down the road, when we look back at it, it's something we're going to be really proud of. And I get to tell my grandkids one day, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
So you have made the very, very first touchdown for Berry College. It's something big for our history, for a legacy that you will leave. What does that mean to you? How do you handle that?
I'm excited because it'll forever be in the history books. And, you know, just actually looking back at the film of me scoring, this just kind of put a smile on my face, because I'm just like, this is, you know, something people will see 100 years from now when they say Berry's first football team. Who scored the first football? Who scored the first touchdown? Mm-hmm. And they look back and see that it wasn't just about me, that it was about the team, that we all scored.
Thank you so much. For more information and stories on Berry sports and the football team, be sure to stay right here on Viking Fusion. For Viking Fusion Sports, I'm Rachel Blair.